All right, so we were joined by Tish of Posh Hair Artistry today, and I just want everybody to take a second and imagine one thing. Imagine starting your business during the 90s when social media was not nearly as prevalent as it is, when technology was not nearly as advanced as it is. What type of methods, what type of tips and tricks, what would you do? Well, Tish was able to, give us her background, give us her story as to how Posh Hair Artistry came to be the salon and accumulate as much success as it has been. But, the road was not easy from, sharing her dreams with people who weren't always in support of her to even some hard days to long nights to just being an entrepreneur and everything that consists of. But nonetheless, she did not stop. And here we are even looking at maybe some future locations. So definitely stay tuned for that. So for all my ladies in the Philadelphia area, I definitely need you to tap in with her. She said her and her other stylists are curating a vibe unlike any other. So without further ado, enjoy episode 98, The Seasoned Scholar. All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Down to Business podcast here with Tamar Turner. And I think with this one, y'all, I think we just might have made history here. So just a little bit of background. So this is the first mother-daughter duo on the podcast. And man, like if I could tell y'all how far back her daughter dates Whitney dates back to episode 3, I'm pretty sure. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So Whitney came on here and talked about W Cosmetics. It was one of my first interviews with somebody who, when I was really getting things off the ground and running, she believed it. Big shout out to Coach E, man. That's my dog. That's family right there. So this is family I'm sitting in front of. But no, somebody who really being able to just know the Taylor family a good portion of my life and really just being able to see a lot of what they have done, are currently doing, and will go on to do, man. It's just been nothing short of amazing. So very excited, man, to be sitting down with Whitney's mom today, Tish, man. Very excited for what she's about to give y'all, especially for the ladies and just everything that she has done in the Philadelphia area and everything that's going to come. So, Tish, how we doing today, man? How is everything?
Oh, I'm doing great, great. I'm just a little anxious, but I'll be okay. It's great.
We could work through the anxiousness. We could make that happen
Okay.
for sure. So no, like I said, I'm
Yeah.
definitely excited to be sitting down with you. Definitely excited for everything. Definitely, I appreciate E lighting the fire under me. I appreciate E lighting the fire under you a little bit because it took,
Yes,
a
they
little
did.
bit of everything for us to get together today. But no, nonetheless,
Yeah.
very excited, very happy for you, very just happy for the family, very happy for
Thank
all
you.
the success, all the blessings, and
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
so for everybody out there, so I know that obviously, you're going to bring the crowd, you're going to bring the ladies, you're going to bring the
Mm.
clients, everything
Right.
like that. I know that I'm
Right.
going to try to bring the best I can when it comes to the crowd, everybody who shows us love and makes things happen. But
Right.
I also know that, people will be coming and we'll have some newcomers along the lines. We'll have some new
Hmm.
audience and things like that. For everybody, just to
Right.
bring everybody up to the same speed, can you, one, just tell
Hmm.
us a little bit about yourself? And then two, what brings you on the podcast today?
Okay, sure. A little bit about myself. Like you said, my name is Tish Taylor. I'm the owner of Posh Hair Artistry, to the Germantown section or Chestnut Hill section of Philadelphia. I've been doing this for hair over about 25 years now. Yeah, so I'm a seasoned stylist. Just want, just to talk a little bit about entrepreneurship and, just trying to getting started. Maybe hopefully I'll be able to motivate some women, if anybody's just listening, if they had any reservations about trying to start a business, hopefully they will be encouraged to after we finish.
Absolutely, absolutely. Look, y'all been
Yeah.
doing hair. She said 25 years. That's as long as I was
Yeah.
born. Look, I'll be 26 in July. So,
Oh, wow, really?
yeah, I'll be 26 on July 26th, man. So, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So that's crazy. But okay. So, like you said, just want to talk about a little
Mhm.
bit about entrepreneurship, even give some motivation, drop some
Yeah.
gems for the people, all of that. Okay.
Hmm.
So let's take it back a
Okay.
little bit. Let's go
Okay,
25
sure.
years ago.
Hmm.
Where did the interest in hair start? Was it always hair? How did that come about? I feel like a lot of people always have, those interesting stories about how we develop our hobbies and passions and things like that.
Right.
They always kind of serve a purpose. So yeah, for you 25 years ago, what did that look like?
Okay, so it's interesting that you asked me that question because I actually went to school for accounting. I was supposed to be an accountant. Not only that, I also hold a, license to sell real estate. So I was going to be in like corporate, business. But I did always have a passion for doing hair. I would do it on the side. I did not think that this is what I would be doing as a career. This was going to be what I did for a living. But like you said, I know you gave a shout out to Coach E, but he was really my boyfriend at the time, now husband. he actually gave me that push and encouraged me. He was like, listen, Tish, he knew that, going to school. I mean, I was in college and doing what I needed to do because that was expected of me. But I did have the desire, like I said, to do hair. And he was like, you know what? Maybe you should go ahead and pursue cosmetology. At that time, I was just like, I don't know if that's going to fly with my family. You know what I mean? They were expecting me to go ahead, get this accounting degree, maybe sell this real estate. But I'm glad that I listened to them and I did. I went to school for cosmetology and it went from just doing something on the side to an actual passion. I did hold a few other little jobs, corporate working at the bank, that type of thing, while I was doing hair on the side. And then my love for the industry just grew. Because once you start off, especially in this type of industry, you have to build clientele. And in order to build that clientele, I mean, it takes a lot of work. Put a lot of hours into, becoming the stylist that I am today. So yeah, so to answer your question, no, I hadn't always. That wasn't my goal. I really did not see 25 years ago. I did not see myself as a business owner, salon owner. I didn't.
And time
Yeah.
again, I really think that that's the beauty of this podcast
Hmm.
and just the journey of entrepreneurship, business ownership, artistry, anything like that. It's just because
Right.
there is no right or wrong way to this. Everybody is running a race
Right.
essentially, but essentially that path to that finish line, it can be different for everybody.
Hmm.
You spoke about real estate,
Exactly.
you spoke about accounting. Two things
Right.
now where back then, you'd ask your parents, or you may have even asked a younger Tish. Oh, for sure,
Hmm.
that's me. Bottom line. But sometimes it takes
Exactly.
that push. Sometimes it takes those external factors. But even on top of that, like you said,
Hmm.
your parents wouldn't have went over well with that.
Not at
But it
all.
took you still having to make that decision and still having to say, look, well, you know what?
Hmm.
Maybe he might know what he's talking about a little bit. Maybe he's not that
Right.
crazy. Maybe and then on top of that, it then turned into a
Hmm.
passion. But then you also realize that
Exactly.
with a passion, with things like that, with exposing yourself to any new just venture or hobby, whatever you want to call it, it takes still
Right.
work. You still have to lay that foundation. You still have to give that groundwork. It's not a thing of,
Exactly.
oh, I do
Exactly.
here, everybody just coming. No, you have to build that clientele, build that trusted clientele. I
Exactly.
think is more important, just because when it comes to hair now, I know how the fellas feel, so I know the ladies. You just can't let
Right.
everybody
Right.
operate on the head. So it's like somebody sitting there for
Exactly.
hours and everything like that. You got to really make it happen.
Right.
Okay, so what was it? What was it really like? Almost having to go against the grain in a sense. Like you said, you were studying accounting. You even had the real
Hmm.
estate license and everything like that.
Hmm.
As
Yes.
you were kind of pivoting, as you were getting into hair, did you feel like you were
Mhm.
kind of leaving things behind? Did you feel like accounting, real estate, maybe you were giving up opportunities that were right in front of you?
Yes, actually, I did, and I'm telling you, it was really nervous. It was a major decision to go ahead and to continue to pursue cosmetology because I started thinking, okay, like I said, trying to build the clients, and you made a good point for it. It's very different. There's a salon on almost every corner. Maybe two or three on each block. So I'm like, am I getting into a field where it didn't make sense to get into? Should I just continue on the path that I set on? And you're right. I didn't want to just let myself down, let my family down, but in the end, I didn't because now I am actually still using some of the what I've learned as accounting for my business. As I do the books and that type of thing every night. So yeah, I did struggle with it for a while, trying to decide on exactly what I wanted to do. But once I jumped into it and decided, hey, this is what I'm gonna do, I gave it 100% as far as making sure I really like studied the craft as far as like training, schooling, keeping up with the latest and what's going on, and just really mastering what I do, which has actually thankfully got me to the point that I am now.
I think you just kind of made a very important point that kind of got me thinking even more. So, like you kind of just said how, in a sense, you felt like you were leaving some things behind. But then as you
Hmm.
kind of started to venture further in your business, you realized that some of the skill
Right.
sets, some of the knowledge that you had, it was useful. You
Hmm.
can do the books for your
Right.
business now. When it
Exactly.
comes to that, now you can look at it. Now you can, just different language and terminology. Because I know for me and for other
Exactly.
people who may not be as versed in real estate, some of that stuff could be
Hmm.
like a foreign language to you. Sound like a foreign language.
Exactly.
But if now that you know terminology, or now that you kind of are a step above of some people, whereas other people
Right.
may hire someone to do their books, or whereas somebody have to put that faith in somebody else, you can keep it all in house.
Exactly.
You can do it all yourself. So
Right.
I think that that's a big message out there.
Well, and also what I like to add is that I do have something to fall back on. So I would suggest that everyone maybe have a, I had a plan B. I'll say that. If for some reason it did not work out, I did have a plan B. I had something else to fall back on.
And I think
Mm-hmm.
that too. I don't think having a plan B is a bad thing. I don't want people to hear,
Right.
having a plan B or having thinking about a backup or thinking about something. Oh, well, you're automatically kind of assuming that things aren't going to work out. No, but we live in
Right.
a very real world. We live in a world where we would not
Exactly.
imagine 3 years into COVID-19 almost. So you have to
Exactly.
expect it. Right. Everything could be copacetic. Everything could be smooth sailing. You could continue to elevate
And
year.
just like that. Mhm.
We one
Exactly.
away from not having a business, not being a podcast.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know about it.
Come on now. So at the end of the day, you really have to believe that. Now, if you never have to use the backup plan, if you never have to get in,
Oh yeah.
oh,
Then that's perfect. Right. Right.
all power
Yeah.
to you. But at the end of the day, you still have to have that
Exactly.
foundation, still have to set in there. Okay,
Mhm.
25 years. We're working our way through the
Okay.
journey now. We're kind of going through. So as you
Okay.
started to really realize your passions, as you started to really realize
Mhm.
what I love to
Right.
do. I love this. Where did a lot of the clientele start? Are these friends? Was this word of mouth? Was this social media? I know social media wasn't as populous as it is right now, and
No.
how it can really take a business off the ground. So, what was it really like having to build essentially from the ground up?
Whew, so you're talking about the 90s. Okay, so now you're going way back. So you're talking about walking up to people and it's like, hey, oh, you look nice. I'm a stylist. Hey, here's a flyer. Here's a 10% off discount card. You come in and use this on a Tuesday, give you $10 off or a percentage off. So no, it really was word of mouth. So I had to, if I let's just say if I had someone come in, my very first salon I worked at was in the Glenside area of Pennsylvania, and nice area. Clients would come in, and then they would say, "Oh, hey, I like my hair. I'm gonna tell my sister about you. I tell my mom." So there was no social media. You know what I mean? I literally had to go word of mouth or just put myself out there. I had to have the boldness to actually walk up to someone and let them know, hey, I am a stylist. I would love to do this. And then unfortunately, I had to take a pay cut because I was doing what I needed to do to bring them people in. And with that being said, I have, see what I started in 97. I still have 10 of my original clients, which is almost unheard of. So they follow me throughout the years. So, yeah. So right now, I'm not going to say that the ladies have it a little bit easier today. Uh, Not a lot easier, but it is a little easier
Right.
because all you have to do is put your images up on social media, click, people can find you. But like I said, back in the 90s, you really had to put yourself out there. I had to look the part, and thank goodness it worked out, you know?
I think too that last thing you said, looking the part, because as a
Mm.
stylist, as you walking up to people, and you can't be walking up to people looking crazy. You can't be a barber,
Okay,
have your hair all crazy, but you telling people, "Yo,
and I've seen it, and I've
but
seen
I
it.
really do this." So it's just like, what do you gotta truly put your word where your mouth is at
Right,
that point. But I definitely do think that
exactly.
that real, that organic, those authentic connections,
Hmm.
they help, and they also, I think too, they also speak to somewhat a character. The fact that
Right,
you had to, kind of do all of this just to get where you are today,
yes,
just let you know that, when you get where you are, it's not just going to be, oh, I'm good, I made it, I'm settling, I'm comfortable. No, because at the end of the day, you recognize that it took you this much energy, much effort, much time, much
right,
nice discounts, pay cuts, whatever the case may be, just to get to the
right.
point. It's not over.
And that's what I was going to say. Took me out of my comfort zone because I'm not that type of that aggressive person. Well, maybe not aggressive, maybe not even that assertive. I was comfortable where I was. I'm used to people maybe coming up to me. Like I said, even today I was like, oh my God, I was sweating all morning. Like, oh my God, to talk, I have to speak in front of people. I know it's just me and you, but I'm just saying. So I really had to come out of my comfort zone, approach people, let them know, hey, here, this is what I do. Give me a try. I'll tell you what. One of the ladies, like I said, one of the ladies, she still follows me to this day. Saw her at Pathmart Supermarket. This is a supermarket from back in the day. You know, she saw me. She liked my hair. I told her I was a stylist. Gave her a business card. You know what I mean? We had a conversation in the supermarket. I mean, but these are the types of things that we had to do. In order to get a clientele back in the day.
Right now. So
Get
I
clientele.
think too that even for people who, for me hearing that, I'm a little bit different because it's just like, Oh,
Mhm.
for me, I tell people a lot of times that like I feel like if I didn't have the podcast, if I didn't, if I didn't kind of
Mhm.
brand myself in this way, if social media wasn't
Right.
so prevalent and powerful, I really wouldn't be as
Right.
active as I am. But it's almost it's
Okay.
where your business nowadays, if you're
Mhm.
not on social, you're almost cheating yourself out of that. You're taking all that away from
Exactly.
yourself. You're taking that potential, that experience away from yourself. I hear something like how y'all had to
Yeah.
rock back in the day. Oh, that's me. I love talking to people. I
Yeah.
love, not more
Okay. Okay.
because I can be very, selective and things like that. But at the end of the day, when it
There
comes
you
to
go.
like having to make yourself uncomfortable, no, that wasn't always something that
Mhm.
was easy for me. But I've had to do it so many times at this point. For me,
Right.
it's just like it's another scenario. But it also goes to show the luxury, like you
Mhm.
said, how not you don't want to necessarily say it like this, but I'm gonna say it for you. We have it good nowadays, being business owners,
Oh,
entrepreneurs, artists, and like that. You can go on social media, you can click a couple
yeah.
buttons, drag this here and there. You never have to say anything
Right.
to anybody, and they see
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
cat.
And then they'll call you. They reach out to you. You're right.
So I definitely
You're
think
right.
that sometimes that how you I would say the mantra behind your business or how you kind of embrace it and allow it to
Right.
kind of translate to other people can really depend on what it took to lay that foundation. If the foundation really
Right.
had to be laid just via social media and things were kind of easy and the ease, well, when it comes to really that success and things like that, you may not kind of fathom it the same way or appreciate it the same way. Whereas if you knew you
Right.
were up at 7 a.m. every day passing out flyers, walking the corner,
There you go.
looking at the different
Right.
making you walking into other probably hair salons, getting motivation, getting different things like that, making yourself
Exactly.
having to put yourself in these
Exactly.
situations. Oh, well, when that success comes, when these clients now you can look 10, like you said, you still have some original clients from the night.
Mhm.
That's amazing.
Exactly.
But
That is.
it allows you to treat your foundation much differently. The work speaks for itself. At the
Right.
end of the day, look
Right.
at that clientele. That's a test. That's a walking testimony right there. Love
Right.
I love
Exactly.
that. Okay,
Exactly.
so with being in being in Philadelphia, with just being in PA, looking at the different areas and everything
Mhm.
like that. When it
Mhm.
kind of came to this niche, just getting into artistry, everything like that. Like you said, you were looking, and nowadays salons are very populous. I see a lot myself. Was there like a
Yeah.
particular area? Was there a particular place that you wanted to kind of be just getting started? Did one area have a need for it? How did you kind of go about really setting up shop, setting up location?
Okay, well, let me tell you. All right, so I have to tell you this short story. So years ago, when like I said, when I first got started, I wasn't sure. I was just like, okay, I really enjoy doing this hair, but do I really want to own a business? So it did get to a point where I was just like, you know what? If I'm going to be in this, I'm going to do this. I want to own my own shop. So I remember having a conversation with a fellow stylist, and she asked me that same exact question. She said, Tish, what would you want to do? Where you see yourself in a few years, whatever? And I said, I really would like to own a salon, but in the Chestnut Hill section of Philadelphia. Now, I say that because back in the day, like I say, like in the 90s, early 2000s, it wasn't as diverse as it is today in that neighborhood. And, I've always wanted to be there if I was going to do my own thing. And I'll never forget, she said to me, Chestnut Hill. And I said, yeah. She said, girl, please. She's dreaming. I mean, and she literally, I mean, she was serious. I mean, she even chuckled like, no. And she said that, and I'll tell you this because, like I said, in that, it was not as diverse. It was almost impossible to have like an association. It's just a really nice section of Philadelphia. And when she said, I'm telling you, I got mad tomorrow. I was just like, are you serious? Like, 'cause she was just like, in other words, it would never happen. That's not going to be you. Find another area, find something else to do. And that's where I am today. And that was just with hard work and persistence. You know what I mean? So to answer your question, yes, I did have an area, a location I wanted to be in, and it's right where I am. Not to say that the other areas of Philadelphia were not good or great, but that's where I wanted to be with the type of clients that I have, educated, working women. You know, they weren't going to put up with any other, because I was already coming from the suburbs, the Glenside section of Philadelphia, where a lot of them lived out in the suburban area. So I had to go into an area that I felt was just as nice as where I was coming from, and that was Chestnut Hill for me. So since it went after she asked me that question, or years ago when I was trying to decide on what I want to do, that was where I wanted to be, and that's where I am. So you can't. My advice to anyone would be Don't let anyone kill your dream. You know what I mean? Because I could have been like, you know what, she's right. You know, the rent might be high, the mortgage may be high if I try to buy. Uh, it's not as diverse. You know, they may not accept me. You know what I mean? My type of clients, my style. But look, here I am. You know, and it's going on 12 years now.
Come on
You
now,
know, so.
say that.
Mhm.
I love
Yep.
that just because a lot of something that I'm so big on, and I've spoke about it in previous episodes for sure. It was a
Mhm.
mindset that I had to adopt was pay attention to how you're speaking. Pay attention to how you're thinking. For me,
Exactly.
like at one point I spoke about, I can't remember which episode I spoke about this on, but it was previous. We were I felt like at one point in my life, like everywhere I looked, everywhere I turned, people were talking about manifestations, affirmations, different things like that.
Uh huh.
For me, I
Oh
would
yeah.
never say that. No, I wouldn't say I just shrugged them off or just said that's baloney,
Mm.
whatever, whatever. But I didn't
Right.
necessarily embrace it. And
Gotcha.
that's not to say that I saw miracles being worked in a lot of people's lives, whether it's a miracle, whether it's prayer, whether it's hard work, dedication. I'm not the deciding
Hmm.
factor behind that. All I know is that at the end of the day, you put forth something, however you put it forth, and it came to
Exactly.
however long it took.
That's
It
it.
matter. Once I really
Just speak
pay
it.
attention to that and just change
Hmm.
my mindset, just write things down, just be more positive, read these positive affirmations, pray, talk about things. Man,
Right.
it may not have always happened when I wanted it to. It may have not
Hmm.
happened, but I felt better.
Right.
I just, when it came to the
Exactly.
podcast, when it came to just different ventures and things that I wanted to involve myself in, I felt better.
Right.
Now, it's
Exactly.
to the point now you can't tell me anything about this bad. It's just
That's it.
like, okay,
But say you're seasoned. This is what you do, right?
love it.
And you also have to be careful who you share your dreams with. I learned that. I learned that, you know, at a very young age. You have to be careful. Not that it won't happen, but you know, people say sometimes it can get to you, and then your whole way of thinking start to change. So I have learned that I'm very careful, very selective of who I share my dreams with.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm telling you, it's people you wouldn't think so, but some people really can be jealous of your success or how big you dream or how high you want to go. They may want to stay down here. You want to go even further. So just be careful who you share your dreams with. That would be a bit of advice out.
It's to the point where some people like they how you think or the success or what you want for yourself scares
Right.
you. And it's just like for
Yeah.
me, like if I'm not for me, that's how I like to dream. That's how I like to
Right.
visualize. How I
Big.
like to you gotta go big or go home.
Hmm.
If it's for me,
Exactly.
it's to the point where I've seen so many things or done so many things on a smaller scale or watch the work
Okay.
or set steps for myself or make the visions and things like that and make it happen to the point where it's just like, okay, I want to take it a step further. Let me take it a step
Right.
further. And even if sometimes I get
Exactly.
it, sometimes I don't get it. Sometimes it takes longer.
Right.
So there are so many things being worked out right now for the good, for the bad, for the better, for the worse,
Hmm.
that we don't even realize that at some point we're going to have to experience. We're going to have to go through. How are you letting that make you, break you, shape you, defeat you? Out of there.
Exactly.
And for me, J. Cole said it best: if they don't know your dream, they
Hmm.
can't shoot them down. Sometimes, yes, you have to
Exactly.
protect that peace. You have to understand that this is not for everybody. Everybody doesn't need to
No, it's
be
not.
into this. Now, that's not to
Right.
say that I still won't. I'm still not gonna make this happen, or I'm being secretive or anything like that. You got to protect your peace.
Oh yeah. No. 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 Right.
Got to protect your
Oh
peace.
yeah.
You got to the same way you're not going to reveal all the plans and all the framework and things like that for your business and what you have going on. Well, you also have to think like
Mhm.
that when you're disclosing things with people. Everybody doesn't always have the best
Exactly.
interest in mind, and sometimes it's those who we think are closest to us, right around us, family,
Oh,
friends, whatever, who could be the ones
we have to
really
be careful.
after the phone call or after the text. Man, that's not going. Man, it sound good, but it's not like you said. Almost a smirk and a laugh and kind of looking like but as now me hearing that from somebody who I genuinely love, care about, value your opinion.
Right.
Oh well, if you're
Right.
second guessing it. Well, that's my right hand.
Ex-
Well,
That's it.
naturally you're gonna start second guessing. That takes away.
You start
That takes
thinking.
away from the. It's just
Exactly.
a thought in your mind. It's already too
Hmm.
much to your process because at the end of the day, at
Right.
some point you weren't thinking like that. This became a vision. This became a
Exactly.
goal of yours because you knew that you could achieve it. However that information
Exactly.
came, however you watched it on TV, you heard a quote, whatever. But now that
Exactly.
you're second guessing that, now that you're starting to double back, nah,
Hmm.
energy. That's not the type of you need. So like you rightfully said, 12 years in Chestnut Hill. That's no mistake. That's
So, look,
that's a
I thank God for it all the time. I do, and I'm gonna tell you, it got so deep that I did share it with someone that was close to me, a family member, And after talking to her, I reconsidered even you know taking that step because she gave me all the reasons on why I should not. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just so thankful I blocked that. But you have to be careful. You have to be careful.
Amazing.
Please share your.
So I want to get into the Taylor family a little bit, just because I
All
that
right,
was
all
such a
right.
monumental group of people, man. So like I said, I was able to get Whitney on here. I was able to see everything that she's doing from the time I interviewed her
Mhm.
in 2019 to nearly 3 years later. She's amassed so much success, accomplishments.
Oh, she's doing great.
Eric, so what role has family played in all of this? What role has it been from, a like you said, from E when he was just your boyfriend motivating you, telling you, yo, take that step, to now to seeing your daughter come into business and do different things like that? What role has all of that been able to transpire so that y'all are here today making it happen?
You know what? I'm telling you, Whitney tells me all the time that she looks up to me, and that's what's major for me. Because I'm just like, then I have to really succeed. I want her to see me succeed. Like I said, I have a very supportive family. They're so supportive. So, like I said, when I wanted to go into hair, or when I wanted to open up my own salon, they were all like, "Go for it," But I wanted to show my girls, because I have two daughters, Whitney and Maya. I wanted to show them that you can still be a mom, a wife, a businesswoman. You know what I mean? You can have it all. And still make time for family. So I would like to think that family plays a big part. I think if I didn't have the support of the family, it would not have been as easy as it was. You know what I mean? Yeah. So.
So now,
Yeah.
coming into business,
Okay.
opening up your
I'm sorry.
salon, everything like that.
Okay.
What was that?
Mhm.
What was that
Oh, sorry.
like? How was? Hmm?
Oh, sorry. I think I lost you. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Leave, cancel. Oh, there you are. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
All right, you
Something kept on
nah,
my
nah,
phone.
nah.
Okay.
All good. All
All
good.
right.
So okay, so coming into business, so you
Mhm.
opening up the salon, everything like
Mhm.
that. So salon is now
Okay.
open now. Where did staff come from? Where did the name come from? Where did the mantra? Because I go on the website now, I feel exquisite.
Okay.
I feel fancy.
Okay.
Scrolling through, I'm reading. It's nice font. It's very artistic. I can tell that essentially, no disrespect to my fellas, a woman did this. Because
Exactly. Okay.
not to say I've been on some very visually appealing websites on my guy's side for sure, but like
Right.
women just put that extra oomph on it. It's just like, yeah. So
Okay.
what was that? How did Posh Hair Artistry really come to be everything that it is right now?
All right. So I have to put a plug in for my sister. My sister, she actually designed the website. Okay. Kingdom Innovative Prince, Erica.
All right.
she put the website together. But okay, so the salons. I only worked at two salons before I decided to do this on my own. And the salons that I came from, there was a lot of stylists, maybe about 10, 12 of us. So I wanted to create a salon that was a little more intimate. So there's just three of us there, and I love it because when you come in, we're ready for you. You said something a little bit earlier about going to a salon and having to wait all day. We don't do any of that. Come in, your appointment time is your appointment time. You have an 11 o'clock appointment, maybe about 5, maybe 10 after 11. You're in the chair. We get you in, we get you out. So that was very important to me. As far as the ladies that work with me now, my sister is actually one of them. She does more of like the natural styling. And I have a really nice stylist, Crystal. Well, she's awesome. She's just as seasoned as I am as far as years of doing the hair. Um, Posh, I don't know. I was just one night. When I was trying to decide on the name of the salon. For some reason, I thought about myself and how I thought people might look at me. I don't like a bunch of uh, I want to say the right word, nonsense, buffoonery. I wanted you to come into the salon and feel relaxed. We don't have a television in there because you're in and out. We have radio on, some light music, nice conversation. So that's how Posh became Posh. Uh, Also, I think one of the other things that a lot of the ladies like about the salon, the atmosphere. Like I said, we don't have a lot of people coming in trying to sell shirts, jewelry, like some of the salons I used to work at. No soliciting allowed, and I think that they appreciate that. And also the ladies that work at the salon with me, we're very attentive. I'll say that, my clients when they come in, they may say they come in one week, hey Tish, my husband had to have surgery on his knee, concerned about it. They come back a month later, a few weeks later, I remember that. Hey, how's your husband? How did surgery go? You know what I mean? Those types of these are the things that I'm not gonna just say just women like, but I know the ladies out there what they like that they know that you're listening. You're not just a dollar sign. You know what I mean? You have to build that relationship. And I don't think I would be able to build that relationship if I had a client in my chair and three other ladies sitting on the side wondering, hey, when's my turn? You had me sitting here for hours, so I can take that time to get to know them. Even with my older clients, that's one thing, but even with the newer ladies, I've had a client even say that to me. She was like, you actually pay attention to what I'm saying, not just with the hair, but what I'm saying, you try to get to know me as a person. So yeah, so that's what we're all about. And it's not just myself, the other ladies that work there also the same exact way. So this is the atmosphere that we created and I'm, very proud of it. Yeah.
I love to hear it. I don't need any styles or anything done to my hair, but I would definitely visit. I think that that's so important. Something that y'all
Mhm.
don't realize, fellas. She dropped the gem for y'all, and I'm gonna tell
Mhm.
y'all how she dropped the gem for fellas and just for people in general. Listen to you. Listen. Just listen. Pay attention.
Mhm.
It's little
Mhm.
things sometimes, that can just,
Right.
make or break somebody's day. Or you don't really something I'm so attentive to now. You don't know what type of
Mhm.
day somebody is having. You got to be kind to
Exactly.
everybody. The same way you have bad
Mhm.
days and you may have an attitude. Well, somebody's day could be 100 times worse than yours, and they could be moving through a
Oh
smile,
yeah.
spreading love,
Oh yeah.
still making things happen, and you wouldn't know. So I think that that too
Mhm.
goes something that I'm very prideful on about my job and something that I'm intentional with,
Mhm.
personable. Like you said,
Right.
remember, just little things about surgery or
Mhm.
or rough days or just, something coming up, weddings, birthday, anything like that, because it's not
Exactly.
just with women. People just like that, especially in the hospitality, customer service. It's
Mhm.
not just seen as, oh,
Exactly.
I'm here to just do a job and that's it. That's what we're gonna keep it at
That's
that. No,
yeah.
personal a little bit. Let's, show that I was listening. Let me ask about something. Let me follow up. The fortune is always in the follow up. It's one to
Exactly.
say something, to have a conversation. What did you retain from that conversation? Were you just listening to them?
Right.
Were you just trying to pass time, or were you genuinely, paying attention? So I think that's a great
Exactly.
mindset to have, and not just with hair,
Mhm.
not just with styling, not just with
Right.
podcasting, not just with customer service. You want to do that no matter what you are, no matter what you do. You always want to bring
Mhm.
people back because 12 years in Chestnut Hill,
Exactly.
customers since the
Right.
'90s still, it's
Right.
all starting to make sense to me. Well, now I see why,
Right.
because look at how you treat the
Right.
ladies. Look at the environment.
Right.
Look at the like-minded individuals that you surrounded yourself with. Look at how people
Mhm.
know when they come into Posh Hair Artistry, there's a standard. There's
Mhm.
a no solution.
Right.
We're not in here just watching TV, just shooting, sitting here for 5, 6 hours.
Exactly. Exactly.
Barbershop, fellas, so it's just
Right.
I think that that's important to have these standards, these guidelines,
Mhm.
just these mindsets, these even I would say even these attitudes and just how you feel about because if you let the people decide everything, this wouldn't really be your
Right.
business. This you would
Exactly.
be adjusting to other people. But at the end of the day, you're still
Exactly.
serving, you're still pleasing, you're still taking care of
Right.
people, and you're running things how you want to run things. I think that that's crucial. That's so important, man. I love that. So okay, so for the ladies, man, I feel like this is a very important
Mhm.
question. I feel like we may have even been
Okay.
for this a little bit. So what do you do? If
Mhm.
I walk in if we walk into Posh Hair Artistry, if we're looking
Okay.
at the website, if we're looking at the services,
Mhm.
what can we
Okay.
what can we get done?
So here's the deal. So this is what we try to do, especially for newer clients. We try to have a consultation because believe it or not, there's some people you just can't work with. Okay. So you come in, you had a consultation, you may have some unrealistic expectations. You may not have any hair, and you expect me to work a miracle where your hair is just flowing down your back without weave extensions. I mean, I get sometimes they really think that we're magicians. So, so we do consultation. Come in, we talk a little bit about what you expect from me, what I expect from you. Boom, we decide, hey, we work well with each other. So, this will work. Let's go. So we do natural hair. When I say natural hair, I mean relaxer free. We have a lot of ladies that are starting to embrace their natural locks. By that I mean, I don't know if you've seen it, just like the kind of wet and go hair, put a little product in. A lot of our ladies are starting to rock their natural curl. They don't want weave extensions. They don't want relaxers. They just want to embrace what God gave them. So that's why I would say when I first started doing hair, maybe about 60, 70% of my clients uh, would get a chemical. And by that, I mean they would put something in the hair to make the hair super straight. Now, I would say about 80% of our ladies are natural. They want to, or, a lot of ladies, they work out, a lot of our clients, so they want a protective style. So what a protective style means is extensions, some type of twist so that they can go ahead and work out without messing up the hair, and they can still go and do a Zoom call and look presentable. So we do a lot of coloring, a lot of cuts, but we don't really get into, like I said, we get into it. We don't get into a whole lot of we try to do more of like softer styles because like I said, a lot of the ladies, a lot of my clients anyway, are closer to my age in their 40s or 50s, so they want something a little more relaxed, like they could just kind of shake and go. They want to be able to run their fingers through their hair and know that they have healthy hair. The clients trust me enough to let that when I tell them, hey, you may need a trim, you may need a deep treatment, they trust me and they'll say, okay, Tish, whatever you say, let's go for it. So what I could say is that if you come into Posh, you will be able to expect an experience. That's what I think we try to give the experience from the time you walk in to the consultation to going back and being ready for you once you come in and leaving happy, hopefully.
Love that. Love that. Love that.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. So something that I'm always very interested in, especially with industries that one I'm not involved in
Hmm.
nor very knowledgeable
Hmm.
about, is the outside looking in picture. I feel like a lot of
Hmm.
times
Oh
that
yeah.
we may look at someone like you who owns a shop, and we may
Hmm.
think one thing. We may think that, oh,
Okay.
this is how it runs. This is it's not really much to it. All she has to do is da da da
Oh.
da 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 da. But
Mhm,
behind closed doors, we
mhm,
know full well it's a lot more to that. So what is something that
mhm,
you feel like that it really took you having to get into this industry, really embrace this industry that you learned or that you were taught, whereas the average person, the outsider looking in, may not know? What is something that when it comes to, it could be day-to-day operations, it could be something you learned about, it could be with building rapport with customers. What is something that you would say that,
mhm.
you know, owning this, being in this for 25 plus years now, being that seasoned scholar, as you call it, like that, has really taught you, has really opened your eyes up to that the average person may not know?
I think what you said, the one building rapport with customers, that's not as easy as a lot of people may think. In any business, like you say, not just with hair, but any business. So, I have to disputes, problems. I used to have another lady that worked with me, and that's a whole nother subject. But I always had to try to be the problem solver and try to diffuse situations, unfortunately. But yeah, building rapport with clients, that can be a tough one because, like, we're in a different time now. I go on social media sometimes, or even watching the news. People are losing it. It doesn't take much for them to snap one out. So you have to, be able to have that savvy and know how to kind of just like reel it in. You know what I mean? Also, I'll say from the business side, also, there's a lot of different fees and different things that go into it. I had a lady that used to work with me, and I never complained. So I think she thought that running a business was super easy. But I didn't think that was, professional for me to come in and complain about, oh, this, I got to pay that, oh, this is going, I always try to keep it cool. Long story short, she decided to leave, start her own business. 2 years later, no more. You know what I mean? So, not to say I didn't wish ill on her. I was hoping that she would have been successful, but it's just it can be a little tough going into your own business. So, with that being said, even though I had a little bit of a business background, I still took business classes. Temple had I think it was like a 6 week business class. I took a business class, and this was like years ago, maybe like even a year before I even decided to open the class. I'm sorry, the salon. Um, Also, location. You don't want to just go jump out and open up any type of business. You have to do your homework. It's location, location, location. For me, I did not want to go into, like I said, an area where there was already 3 salons and now I'm playing with the price and all the competition. I decided to go somewhere where actually at that time, well, even now, I was the only one that does the type of styling that I do for now. You know what I mean? So I just think that sometimes, like you said, people just think that it's just easy to just go in open business, but I would suggest doing your homework and doing your research before you just go. And like I said, not just with hair, any business.
And I really am glad that you spoke on that and you really spoke on that how you did, because at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
you just showed and you just exemplified that no matter how seasoned you are, no matter how many years,
Mm-hmm.
how many months, how many styles, how many
Right,
clients, there's
right,
always room to learn. You took a class, why?
exactly,
Because you don't know it all. You know that there's still
right,
out there. You know that, and sometimes
exactly,
it's not even about that. There's always
right.
more. It's too that you realize, like you said, nowadays people are losing it. But what does that show you? We're living in times where things are changing. So at the end of the day, how I podcast right now, I may not be able to do that
Mhm.
5 years from now, 10 years from now. I may have to
Right,
adjust. I may have to get new equipment. I may have to go to different elements and things like that. That's not to
exactly,
say that I
right.
should let that take away from who I am as a podcaster. No, no.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let that take you away from who you are as an entrepreneur, a business owner, a creative, an artist, whatever you are. Simply make
Exactly.
adjustments. Sometimes that's all it takes. It's just a little bit of adjustments. And it's not necessarily
That's it.
on you, your skill, your clientele, your
Right,
reach, anything like that. Things change. The same way,
exactly,
traditions and things were set in stone. Well, it's the same way sometimes you have to etch that stone again, or sometimes new traditions evolve and things like that. So, love that,
exactly.
man. So, okay. So, we
Exactly.
were only in quarter 2 right now. The year is very young. We still have a
Mm-hmm.
lot to
Right.
go. Obviously, like
Yep.
you said, you are living the dream in a sense. But at the end of the day, the same way that you can live a dream, the same way that you can be
Mm-hmm.
happy, you still can want more. You still can think of more. You
Right.
still have different goals. You're still setting goals. The same way you're doing books
Right.
and things like that and clientele,
Mm-hmm.
that you're comfortable with these ladies.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, y'all still recognize that you want to continue to build and there's different things like that. What's the outlook for
Exactly.
Posh as we move? Obviously, I don't want you to
Ooh.
drop anything that you don't want to disclose or anything
No,
like
no.
that. But as we
Well,
look to move forward, what are you excited about? What are you thinking about? What are you kind of trying to cook up?
well, it's that's a very good question. I ask myself that question quite often because the law. Realistically, I don't plan on being 75 doing hair. I don't think the ladies would want me doing their hair at 75, getting older. But I am, but we do have a product line out. I actually have a product line called Asian. Um, and we sell it exclusively at the salon for now, but I am looking into, uh, incorporating it with like on the website so that you can be able to purchase it from here. So after the hair, I still want to stay in the industry somehow, but I'm not sure about, doing the hair. Like I say, maybe for the next, no, I give myself maybe another 10 years or so. You know what I mean? But I even had someone ask me if I wanted to open up another salon. That's not out of the question either. Or maybe keeping the salon and just managing, the older I get. So I do have some things, I'm working on, but I'm not 100% sure right now. So, there's a good question.
But like I said, I think that that's a good question just because it just lets you know, and this is more so talking to the listeners and things like that. But your
Right,
mind is always turning, it's always working. You may
right,
not be able to just drop things, get things out how you want it, push it to how you want it. It doesn't mean it's not
right,
cooking. Some things take time. Some things are worked out. You
right.
said you're never ruling. The fact that you're not ruling things out. That means
Hmm.
that a couple more years.
Open to it. Yeah, I don't want to become
You don't
complacent.
want to. Right.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, for like right now, it's been okay. But now my youngest daughter, she'll be graduating from college in what 2 years, and
Ooh.
I would like to start living a little bit. We're working hard trying to get her out of there.
Right.
But like I said, within the next few years, like I said, we have the product line that we're starting to really try to push, and that's for our ladies with the natural hair care. And like I said, maybe opening up another business, that's not out of the question. So we'll
Now,
see.
if Maya about to graduate in 2 years, man, I'm about to sound. Oh, I just was talking
Oh
to E about the
yes.
decision because I remember E called me.
Mhm.
Now tomorrow,
How do you sound like?
he said she want to go to Syracuse. He said talk to me, And I gave her, I
What
gave
you
him
think?
everything. I told her, but at the end of the day, I was so proud of that. I
Yeah.
love to see that. I knew that at the end of the day, no matter what, well, I knew that y'all had a
Mhm.
family. Y'all obviously, you're not always gonna put your eggs in one basket. You're gonna be smart about the
Right.
end of
Oh yeah,
y'all
definitely.
recognize that. Look, if
Definitely.
this is gonna propel her, if this is what's gonna make it happen, let's do it. Like that.
Exactly.
But that 2
Right.
years left. Oh, that's crazy. I'm excited.
We're excited for it.
Love
So
that. Okay, love it.
yeah,
Sure. Yeah, like I see that face. Like, yeah, it's about to. Yeah. Okay.
I know, right? I know.
So before we close things out, before I let
Mhm.
people,
Sure.
I tell everybody
Okay.
where they can kind of find you, where they can your
Okay.
locations and everything like that. Do you feel like there's anything we
Mhm.
haven't touched on today? Any last words you even want to leave for up and coming entrepreneurs, other ladies, other people who may just be tapping in general, people in your lane, people in different lanes, anything like that?
The only thing I can really think of, like I said, I think we touched on it just a little bit. Just pursue your goal. If pursue your dream. If seriously, here, whatever it is, if it's something that you want to do it. I'm telling you, I was nervous as all heck to get started, and I'm just so glad that I did. Don't let anyone deter you from what you want to do. And if I can't, I have to say it. I'll say it again. Do not let anyone kill your dreams. Do not share your dreams with everyone. Honestly,
Simple as that, y'all. It's just
yeah.
I love the fact that I've interviewed so many people, but yet a
Mhm.
lot of times the theme remain universal. They may have said it a different way, they
Mhm.
may have learned it a different way, they may even kind of
Right.
state it, or they may even kind of project it out to others into a different way. But nonetheless, everybody still gives you that same universal theme at the end.
It's major.
You're
Yeah.
the only person
And I know people say it all the time, but it's so true.
literally. But that just lets me know that
Yeah.
sometimes a lot of these cliche, a lot of these repetitive statements, they
Mhm.
hold true.
Right.
Why? Because they work,
That's
because
right.
they mean something.
That's
Because
right.
something didn't become
That's right.
cliche just because one or two people said it. It became cliche.
Mhm.
Oh, he's saying it, she's saying it. They all said it.
Right.
He said it
Oh
yesterday.
yeah.
That's the
Oh
mission
yeah.
statement that. So at the end of
That's
the day, a lot of this stuff, it's not by it's not by luck.
it.
It's not by chance. This is really something
It's
that.
not.
Okay. So
Exactly.
so I love this, man. Like I said, I love the
Oh.
Taylor family, man. If y'all can't tell, they are so monumental.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Made it easy for me tomorrow. I'm telling you.
What we do here, man. We
You did.
what we look at. She said.
So you made it.
So, something that I always love to do is I
Mm.
always,
Okay.
I want anybody listening to be able to find you, to be
Okay.
able to tap in with you, to be able to learn more
Okay.
about you. So, can you just tell all the
Sure.
listeners out there, all the viewers out there, what is the best way to
Mhm.
contact with you? Social media, shop, any website, anything like that.
Oh yeah. So we're on Instagram, Posh Hair Artistry. Posh Hair Artistry. Wait a minute. Yeah, just Posh Hair Artistry.
Right?
Yeah, I'm about to say, wait a minute, I'm looking it up. Okay, and then our website is poshairartistry.com. We actually have our phone number is 215-753-1150. We were all, how could I forget this? We were issued on visitphilly.com as one of the top salons to visit in Philadelphia. Okay, we just over the holidays, so that was major. But yeah, but the best way to reach us is, like I say, or the website, give us a call. We are by appointment only, because it's just the three of us there, And like I said, we try our best to give you that experience. Appointment times, we're really strict about that. So we are appointment only. And even if they want to DM me on Instagram, but we do prefer phone calls, but you can go right to the website.
All right. All right. So look, if y'all didn't get it today, I got it. I learned something. I'm
Okay,
definitely
good.
motivated from this. I definitely do love, it's one thing to be able to see something. It's one thing to be able to follow progress, to be able to hear about
Right,
it, to be able to tap in. But it's another thing when you're able to dive a little bit deeper into it. It's another thing when you're able to
right,
really see the origin, when you're able to see what 25 years ago looked like, what 12 years ago
right.
looked like, and now to see a lot of
Okay,
things. And, but still how, even throughout all those years, you're still thinking, you're still evolving, you're still getting better, you're still.
exactly.
So from me to you, I'm wishing Posh Hair Artistry nothing but success, nothing but
Oh, thank
the
you.
milestones and the accolades that you've amassed already are just one step along the journey. It's so much more coming.
Oh, thank you.
I'm glad that we were able to lock this in, man. I'm glad that I was able to get the first mother daughter duo on the
Oh, that's right.
I'm not letting this go because this is historical for me, man. But no, I'm so happy for you, so happy for Whitney, for Maya, for Coach E, man. I'm definitely glad that this was able to happen, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on here.
Thank you. Oh, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me on. I really do appreciate it.
It's always just a blessing just to be able to hear from different perspectives, hear from different industries, hear
Right.
from different, skill
Right.
sets, mindsets, all of that, man. So love it, man.
Exactly.
I'm definitely, like I said, I'm rooting for you. I'm cheering for you. Anything that you do
Okay.
on the podcast side, let us know. To all the listeners,
Okay.
we appreciate you always. Like I said, we moving through. It's quarter two. I'm very excited. I'm very motivated. We're locking in, man. So this has been another episode of the Down to Business podcast. Here with Tamar Turner.